All right. What's up, everybody? Keefe here from Ghost Cult Mag. Was supposed to go live last night. Didn't get to. We'll talk about that in a second. But welcome. This is going to be our weekly live stream. We're going to live stream every week through the end of the year, maybe beyond. Not sure. So far, so good. People seem to be liking it. I'm going to loop in Instagram right here. I had tried to do TikTok, but I just can't get it to jibe. But hang on. Sorry for the unflattering close-up angle of my face while I reach across to where my phone is. You can hear the sounds of the rain. I have my NPR voice on because it's first thing in the morning here in California. Listen to the dulcet tones of the raindrops on Keefe's window in San Francisco. Let's do it. And go. All right. Alrighty. Live here on Instagram here, YouTube with you there. What's up, everybody? It's Keefe once again with GhostCultMag.com's The Weekly Ritual News Show. This is where we bring you our roundup of stuff going on in the world. You have rock and metal, tour dates, festivals, new music coming out, features here at the site, and all kinds of fun stuff. So thanks for being here. This was supposed to run last night. I went to see Catatonia, The Ocean Collective, and Cellar Darling. Came home from the show, got everything ready to go, and then the internet was down for the night, apparently, so I napped out. Happy December. Wearing my Santa hat for everybody's benefit. It's the holiday season. It's usually a tough time in the world for everybody, but we're super happy to welcome in the holiday season, and still can be a positive and fun thing, even if you're not into the season or not into religious holidays or not into commercialism. You can still have a fun time. And don't, if anybody else enjoys it, don't shit on them. Let them have it. Let them have things. Just that's where we go. I sipped my seltzer. I had my coffee. I ate a delicious piece of banana bread I baked myself, by the way. Things you don't care about. But what you do care about is rock and metal. And the first thing we're going to talk about here today is a fundraiser we're doing. We are running a fundraiser for the foreseeable future while we try to raise money to replace some of the camera gear that we had broken in an accident. $5,000 worth of camera gear, in fact. And, it's been a challenge being a small business, being a DIY company. We've really, tried to bounce back from this, but it's hard. You can't replace the money. We had to buy some other gear to get by in the meantime. That also costs money. So, Yep. Well, hey, what's up, Raquel? Raquel Figlo PR on Insta is a friend of ours, a friend to Ghost Cult. What's up? Check out the bands she supports. Generally, there's a link in our description, and there's a link in our link tree in our bios everywhere on social where you can donate and help with the fundraiser. I generally really hate to ask for money. A lot of people are having a hard time in the world. I personally know people having major life crises, and I was really conflicted about having a handout asking for help, but just it is what it is. We need the help. So if you like the channel, if you enjoy what we do, if we've supported you, your band, your label, your artists, your endeavors, any little bit helps. You can donate to us at our PayPal. It's completely safe and free. I didn't do a GoFundMe because I appreciate GoFundMe for raising awareness, but not always the best system for getting money back. And we also have a Ko-fi. So if you want to buy us a coffee on Ko-fi, you can donate anything. I think the suggested amount is $3 to $5, but you can donate. Literally every little bit helps. It's all going to go toward the future purchase of brand new gear. If you watch this channel for a long time, you've seen a different angle. This is the Ghost Cult HQ, a.k.a. my bedroom in San Francisco, in my home. You've seen a different angle. You see me standing up in the battle vest, jumping around, all energetic and excited. Here I am sitting down at a different angle. You can see my bed here and my battle vest hanging up. So hopefully we get back to it soon. We appreciate everybody for hanging out and hanging in. And so we're going to get on with the show. First things first, we're going to talk about, as we do sometimes, people who passed away. We just had the devastating passing, the sudden and shocking passing of Christine McVie of Fleetwood Mac. Even if you're a cult black metal fan or a death metal fan, Fleetwood Mac, one of the most enduring and awesome bands in rock history. And we're just so sad. Our producer, Omar Cordy, the number 2 here at Ghost Cult, in charge of all things, was recounting how he got to see Fleetwood Mac with Christine McVie, and before they kicked out Lindsey Buckingham recently, a few years ago, with our friend Rosa Mancuso, who has also passed away. So very sad. Didn't get an actual cause of passing from Christine, but apparently she had a short illness and passed away quickly. So very sad. 79 years old. It's not that young, but still, she's a legend. I know a lot of people love Stevie Nicks and gush over Stevie, and she's worth it. She's wonderful. But Christine is an equal, immense talent, a gifted songwriter, singer, and pianist, and really the soul of that band for a long time. The soul of that band. I'll go there. So anyway, really sad. We lost a lot of people this year. We're losing people. Go see your heroes. Go support them with your dollars if you can. And yeah, that's where that is. Let's get down to the brass tacks of the show. What's up to everybody on Instagram? Thanks for tuning in. Ghost Cult Keefe here with the weekly ritual Ghost Cult's weekly rock and news metal show. We're also doing a fundraiser to replace gear we had broken. Check the link in the bio on Insta and all the other socials. Check the link in the description and our bio here at YouTube. So the script every week for the weekly ritual is as follows. We go down our features, things we did here that highlight what we've done this week, interviews, podcasts, feature things you might enjoy. Then we get down to tours and festivals, hugely popular. We thought about spinning this thing off to its own show or its own content on social. Still thinking about it. Let us know what you think with a comment in the description. People love to find out. They tell me all the time. I had a comment. We ran a comment on story on Cannibal Corpse, and somebody was like, when are they going to tour the USA? They're on tour in the USA right now. You missed it because you weren't paying attention, or you just didn't know, or the algorithm knocked the post down or something. So here's an opportunity for you to find out what's happening right now, what's coming soon. Again, shout out to everybody. I would wave back to you, but I have to reach further than my short little dinosaur T-Rex hands can reach. So I'm sorry. I can't reach. Coming up for Blair, 79. You have an awesome name, Blair. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I'll try to glance over at the different screens and chime in when I can. But if I miss you, I appreciate you all for being here. Thanks so much for watching us. Thanks for supporting Ghost Cult. 10 years of Ghost Cult this year. As I was saying, features, festivals, tours, some general news stories that I think are interesting to fans of different genres of metal and rock. And then usually a mailbag where we unbox something or we highlight something we got in the mail. I have a really special thing today from a super cool label that has supported Ghost Cult and that we are a fan of their bands as well. And then we're going to wrap it up with some platitudes because that's how I do. Oh, Reza, what's up? Hey, that's amazing. I see that. Okay, cool. Cool name. Reza Mills, who writes for Ghost Cult, is in the comments on Insta. Thanks for being here, pal. Thanks for a tremendous year of work. Thanks for coming on to the team. We've had quite a few new scribes come on this year. We've already got some new people coming on for next year that are going to make an impact, and we're really excited about it. Abstract Soul. Shout out to Tom Osmond. Shout out to Reza Mills. Shout out to Relka. I'm going to butcher your name, Shreldreth. I mean, I really apologize. You are wonderful if you're out there and watching this somehow. So just some of the new people. Pags, our new homeboy Pags, helping out with video directing, tech support, going to shoot some shows next year, hopefully cover some. He's already covered some festivals with me personally. Super, super happy to have the new blood coming in with the old blood here at Ghost Cult. 10 years of Ghost Cult. So we mentioned the late Christine McVie of Fleetwood Mac. Rest in peace, rest in power. We talked about our fundraiser. Again, hit the link in the bio. And please help us replace our very expensive camera gear that was destroyed in an accident. We did get some money, not nearly enough to replace the gear. That's just the facts. Kicking things off with the features this week, we interviewed Mark from Nothing More. Nothing More is one of the more exciting, we'll call them active rock, red state rock, fair, American Rock Festival bands, Sirius XM, rock bands, if you will, like Ozzy's Boneyard, if you're in America and you have Sirius. Jess Ruin, what's up? Thanks for being here. Reza representing the UK. We are still heavily a European company, despite the owners being in America. We started in the Netherlands as a zine 10 years ago, and we still have a tremendous strength of writers and staff all over the world, but especially in the United Kingdom. So shout out to y'all. So we interviewed Mark from Nothing More all about their new record, Spirits. They're going to be on Shiprock. They have a whole year of touring coming up they can't quite talk about yet, but it's a super cool interview. Mark is a really interesting guy and a very talented guitar player, very fun interview. We also interviewed maybe my favorite interview of the entire year, John Cobbett of Hammers of Misfortune. In case you didn't know, Hammers of Misfortune has their comeback album this week, Overtaker, coming out this week, self-release, DIY. They had previously been on Metal Blade. John is also from the band Ludacra. He's on the band Vol. Moved to Montana after living here in San Francisco for a long time. This record is incredible. Certainly one of my favorite records of the year. It's a shame it came out so late in the year, but what a tremendous album. Go check it out. Hammers of Misfortune. Sort of thrash, psychedelic prog, sometimes other kinds of extreme metal. Really brilliantly talented band. John is incredible. Talked all about the music business. Talked some shit on the music business, honestly. Talked about his experiences moving to Montana, trying to continue with new, bands existing and future projects. We just saw him at Ludacra at perhaps their final show here in San Francisco. They are some early aughts and teens black and death metal band. A tremendous band, Ludacra. Check out their stuff and check out John and my interview with John. We also finally revealed our album of the year countdown. Our entire album of the year countdown has run this week. In case you missed it, there's a video I'll link after this airs live in the description on YouTube, and I'll link it perhaps in the, I'll open and edit the post if I can on Instagram and add the link. It'll certainly be in our link tree in our bio, link in our bio. Metalomania, what's up? Thanks for joining. Everybody else, thanks for joining on IG and YouTube. Let's see if anybody's here on YouTube just really quick. Yep, so far it's quiet, but that's cool. We always run these additionally with a rebroadcast. And yeah. Let's just see if I can bring anybody else in. I'm going to try. Let's see. Really quick. So we interviewed Mark from Nothing More, John from Hammers of Misfortune. We ran our album of the year stuff. We counted it all the way down to number one. Our list is somewhat controversial. We're not the same as every other metal website out there or metal magazine, but our staff is, over 50 people in the world. I think 40-something people voted in all, and it's weighted scientifically. I have no influence other than my own votes, and I will not totally spoil who is number one, but it's definitely a surprise. I don't think anybody else had this band number one this year. So check out our list. Give us some feedback on that list. I'll link it in the description. It's already in the link tree, but I'll link it in the video description here on YouTube. Continuing forth, we did our very first sponsored video ever this week. Sponsored content. It's very also controversial. Listen, we're a small business. We have some affiliate partners, but we don't have a lot of money from ads. You don't see a lot of ads all over our site. Some, but we're a small business basically trying to bring the music news to you, very similar to Blabbermouth, with constant everyday posts. We do interviews, high quality interviews all around the world. We cover music festivals all around the world. We cover shows every week. We covered 3 shows yesterday. I went to Catatonia, the Ocean Collective, and Cellar Darling here in San Francisco. Our main man, Gary Alcock, covered Fallujah and Rivers of Nile in the UK. We also covered Black Veil Brides and Ice Nine Kills and I think Asking Alexandria in Nashville. Shout out to LJ DeWitt. Cadaverous Crow here on Insta. She covered that. Look out for all these reviews coming soon. Tonight in the UK, Rich Price, our main man, Rich Price, is going to cover Cage Fight, one of the new, more exciting, hardcore, techie, sort of hardcore metal bands in England. Super cool. It's got members of Tesseract in it. You want to check that out. It's much more brutal if you like Tesseract. Also, so we had our very first sponsored content ever, and we reviewed the Phoenix Pro PTU True Diversity microphone set at a festival. We interviewed a lot of bands using it. We did a complete unboxing and a product testing. I would not endorse anything I don't like. If I didn't like it, I would tell you. I will tell you where it had mostly pluses, not too many minuses compared to our other gear. We did an A/B test on our other gear, and I literally have it right here next to me. That's the back of the box. Let's show the front of the box just so everybody can see it right here. And they sent this to us to keep. It is a paid endorsement, which again I'm stoked about because we don't bring in that much money, but it's super cool if you like gear and you're a working musician. This is a perfect wireless microphone system for your home studio, for a live gig, or if you're like us and you interview bands. Really cool to use. Also, I am the co-host of the Glacially Musical Podcast. You probably heard me talk about it. We do beer, podcast, metal, swearing, vinyl, nerdism, all kinds of stuff. This week, airing tonight/tomorrow, we conclude our series on the discography of Slipknot, and we do an in-depth analysis of All Hope Is Gone, the controversial All Hope Is Gone, although not the most controversial album by Slipknot anymore, thanks to the new one, The End So Far. This show is also going to be a podcast. If you listen to podcasts, Ghost Cult Mag has a podcast. Search Ghost Cult Mag on wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. I know Spotify, but Spotify, we're there. And listen to our interviews. Most of our interviews go there. Some exclusive interview content goes there. Recently, we interviewed Thomas Hazelmeyer, the founder and continuing owner of Amphetamine Reptile Records, one of the coolest underground labels ever. They put out a brand new album by the Melvins just recently. And he's also an acclaimed artist himself and a musician himself. So check out that interview and, support the podcast with a review or 5 stars or some kind of like and follow. It really helps us. Every little bit helps. Every dollar to our fundraiser helps. Every little bit of support, every like on social media. We are grateful that people are still with us after 10 years. I will say hilariously, somebody today on our Facebook called us lazy because as much as we push out content, come check out this, come check out that, the social media networks don't like it when you tell people go away from the social media networks. So we started doing this thing where we just start a discussion with a post. Let's say, listen to more Creator. What's your favorite album by Creator? Just to start a conversation of any kind. Just to start a conversation, not to say, hey, come check out our stuff. Just to get a flow of conversation happening. And somebody said that is lazy, low effort content. I've never been called lazy in my life. You can't imagine how much work goes into doing a website like this every day, every week, every year. I think I worked an 8-hour day on Thanksgiving. I don't take off time. I love this. I love supporting music. I played in bands for 20 years. When you hear the theme music for Ghost Cult interviews, or sometimes this show when it's pre-recorded, that's music that I was in a band of, that I helped make. I have some music on Bandcamp if you really want to hear it and suffer and hear some mid-thrash metal that I wrote. But anyway, this is a podcast. Come check out our podcasts. Maybe we're going to put up our Dirk Verburen interview here that we have on the channel, which you should check out in case you missed it. Omar Cordy interviewed Dirk Verburen of Megadeth, all about the new Megadeth record, with an in-depth discussion about drumming and his other projects, but especially the new Megadeth record and the difficult process of making the new Megadeth record with Dave Mustaine's illness and the issues with David Ellefson and Steve DiGiorgio coming in and James Lomenzo coming back in. Check out this in-depth interview. It's probably like the best interview anyone's ever done with Dirk. Shout out to Omar. Great job. We're going to run that as a podcast this week. Just throw it up for shiggles. I like to say shiggles, shits and giggles. Serpent Conjuration. You have an awesome name. I hope that's a band name. And trying to get a little bit of this green off my face. Green is our trademark color, if you've seen our videos and stuff, but I don't want it in my face. Okay, moving on to the festival coverage. Let's see where we're at here. Please feel free to join us on YouTube and donate to our fundraiser. Thanks for being here on Instagram. Well, you have a cool name anyway, Serpent Conjuration. That is a cool name. I want to conjure some serpents. I definitely do. Let's get into the festivals after I take this sip of Waterloo Seltzer, not endorsed by Ghost Cult Man. But maybe it should be. Maybe it should be. Summer Festival news. This weekend is the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest in Denver. First time ever in Denver. Killer metal scene in Denver. So many cool bands. Many Denver metal scene bands on the bill. I've attended a Decibel Metal and Beer Fest twice in Philadelphia. It was awesome. They've had some in LA. They're coming back to Philadelphia in the spring. This weekend's festival is headlined by Cannibal Corpse, who is on tour right now. If you missed them in America, they were just here. And they're going to be touring most of Europe next year, and hopefully they'll be back at some point in America. But they were just here. Pay attention, all y'all, please. All right, man. We'll check the DMs. You should email us. Email me. There's a link in how to contact us in the link tree. If you email DMs, I gotta be honest, we get so many of them. I don't answer them on Facebook. I do try to answer them on Twitter and Insta, but it's really hard for anybody watching. I'm sorry. We do have a lot of photographers. We're always looking to work with new writers and photographers, but it's also hard. We have some areas where people are. We have a ton of people, like Boston. We have 3-4 photographers in Boston. It's hard to add a new one. We have 3-4 in the tri-state area in New York, where I'm from, and it's hard to add people there. So holla. I am sorry if I didn't get back to you. Thanks, man. Email. Okay. I'll check it again. I'll look out. Anywho, festivals this week in Decibel Metal and Beer Fest, headlined by Cannibal Corpse, also Pig Destroyer. So many good bands. And awesome craft beer. If you like beer and you drink, they have amazing beers. The 5 most metal breweries, which is a whole thing, a collective of brewers, and a bunch of others. I think somebody's got a mead there this weekend. I'm so pumped. Shout out to anybody going. I'm not going, but I hope to go to the next one in Philly or another one in the future. Summer Breeze Festival, a legendary German festival. Every year, the legendary German metal festival is going to have its first festival in Brazil next year. And they're going to be headlined by Blind Guardian and Parkway Drive. So sick. Really good lineup on each day. There are many Brazilian bands there, including Crisian and Sepultura. But really cool to have more metal festivals in Brazil. Obviously, everybody knows Rock in Rio is the legend, but there's other metal festivals all over the world that are not just the big ones in Europe. And America is finally starting to get on even footing, I think, with metal festivals. Drop a comment and tell us what's your favorite metal festival to go to, as we go to a lot of them. We've covered like 20 festivals this year. It's mind-blowing. I've covered a few. I give a support and props to anybody else that's covered a few. Also announced this week for next year, Graspop Metal Meeting in Belgium is going to feature Slipknot, Disturbed, Pantera. We'll talk about Pantera in a second. A lot of Pantera news. Amazing festival every year. The 2 big ones in Belgium are Pukkelpop and Graspop. And they're always, Pukkelpop's a little more rock and pop and some metal, and Graspop is Graspop Metal Meeting. Putting it down for metal. Colleen Kanowski is here. Shout out to my friend and colleague Colleen, who writes for Ghost Cult. She is a singer and artist in her own right. Tremendous job putting out her music. You can check her out on TikTok and all the other socials. Hi, Colleen. I'm waving to you actually, and not with the button. But this is our weekly ritual rock and metal news show and fundraiser. We're trying to replace our broken gear that has been a catastrophe for us. You can check out the link in the description with a little story about it. I talked about it earlier in the podcast, earlier in the video, earlier in the Instagram live, doing all the things. Furnace Fest at the Schloss factory in Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama. Furnace Fest has made a comeback the last few years. Hardcore, metalcore, punk, killer. Just a giant tent with like thousands of people moshing and headbanging and pogoing. It's so awesome. And they have announced their first 4 bands for 2023. It's usually in September, second weekend of September every year, right after Labor Day. The Callous Dow Boys, who we interviewed Carson recently for our podcast. Foreign Hands, Gorilla Biscuits, my favorite New York hardcore band ever, and Training for Utopia are the first 4 bands. In addition to being a killer festival and just bringing together a bunch of cultures of punk and metal, one thing that Furnace Fest always does that's cool is they put out live albums and vinyls and exclusive merch and vinyls from these bands, especially when they have new bands coming back and reuniting. So look out for that. If you're going to the festival, keep in mind when you buy your merch, you can get a really cool, unique, limited edition special thing as part of a festival. I've never seen that done before, except maybe Roadburn, which we love from our roots in Tilburg, the Netherlands. Shout out to Roadburn, which is also coming back and announcing more bands soon. They'll be headlined by Deaf Heaven. Super cool. On to the regular ass tours. That's what my script says, regular ass tours. Regular ass tours, the thing everybody's talking about, Pantera. kicks off their reunion or reformation tour this weekend in Mexico. I haven't played a show in 21 years. Obviously, the brothers have passed away. We miss and love Daryl and Vince. Very controversial. The very first press release that was put out called it a reunion. Can't have a reunion without all the people, but there's a lot of bands out there with no original members. There's a lot of bands out there with one original member. I know it's, people are very mad in the comments on our socials about these stories. We don't bandy it about lightly. If anybody was going to come and play with Rex and Phil and play Pantera songs, Zakk Wylde is one of Dimebag Darrell's best friends and Vinny's best friends. Charlie Benante was Darrell's best friend beside Rita, his partner. And just today, the State of Vinnie Paul, which is co-owned by Vinny's former partner, girlfriend, his personal assistant, and Sterling Winfield, who was the co-producer, and guitar tech for many of Pantera, 25 years of Pantera. They put out a statement saying, don't call it a reunion, but we are supportive of the tour. So, if I know Vinny was against it for many years, he was mad at Philip. It is what it is. I think there's a whole generation of people that never saw Pantera or only saw covers or only saw Phil play Pantera songs with his solo band, which he took a long time to do. So take it for what it's worth. I think it's going to be a great tribute to the brothers. And, of course, they had no American tours booked. They had tours 2 continents after no shows in 21 years, Mexico, North America, South America this month, as well as a bunch of European festivals announced. And now they are part of the big Metallica world tour for the next 2 years. We'll talk about Metallica more in a second. But, I'm generally supportive of this Pantera tour. Drop a comment. Let us know if you're going to go see the tour or if you're mad at it. That's cool. Also, in the regular-ass tours, let's see, we talked about the ones we did this week. Spiritbox has finally announced their first ever huge headline tour of North America, and it's going to be with After the Burial and Intervals, 2 cool bands. After the Burial is incredible. Spiritbox, probably the second most talked about band of the year beside Lorna Shore and probably Callous Dow Boys. Lacuna Coil, after a successful East Coast tour with Butcher Babies that just ended recently, is going to do a West Coast tour of the U.S. in the spring with the Birthday Massacre, and other bands. Lacuna Coil celebrating 20 years of their hit album Comalies, which really put them on the map. And they're working on new music also. And Soulfly, finally in the tour news, or it's almost finally in the tour news, has announced a huge, huge tour of the USA in this winter, basically, winter, spring. So go support in more intimate clubs, including the DNA Lounge right here in my neighborhood. So I can stumble out of bed and go see my friends Max and his crew. Awesome stuff. We love Soulfly. We love Max here at Ghost Cult Mag. Is there anybody out there? Drop a comment if you're watching here on YouTube. We really appreciate it. Again, this is the Weekly Ritual, Ghost Cults News, rock and metal news show where we share stuff going on in the world, share what's going on in our world. This is also a fundraiser. If you can donate anything, if we've ever brightened up your day and brought you some joy and some metal news or information or an interview you liked and appreciated or shared, please consider giving us a buck or two. It all helps. Also, let's see. In the story of the week, the story of the year, maybe, after just dominating the news cycle, I know you're probably sick of hearing about Metallica, Stranger Things, festival tours, merch collabs, and now, right after the Thanksgiving weekend, with almost no warning, they surprise dropped a brand new single and video, Lux Eterna, for their upcoming new album they announced, 72 Seasons, coming April 14, 2023. I have that memorized. And maybe biggest of all, not just that a big new Metallica album is happening and a new Metallica song and a new Metallica video, but they announced a world tour. It's not a lot of dates for the next couple of years, and it's also controversial, very expensive. So the regular tickets are, I think, what you would expect, maybe about $300. Basically, the goal of the tour, it's not that many dates. They're playing a bunch of European festival shows next summer, but the U.S. tour is going to be in 2023 and 2024. They're going to play 2 dates every weekend in one city with no repeat songs. So I suspect these are going to be very similar to the last few years when Metallica's doing special sets, the Black Album in its entirety, greatest hits, They just played the show, a tribute show to John and Martha Zazula, who founded Megaforce and signed Metallica originally. And they did no songs past 1984. So if you went to that show in Florida and saw just all Metallica songs from Ride the Lightning and back, that's sick. And I appreciate them for that. They have some interesting anniversaries coming up in 2023, including Load and Reload. They're talking about a box set. Saint Anger is 20 years old next year. Hopefully they don't do that one, but you never know. People love that record. People are weird. And each night of the show, they're going to have different openers. So let's say night one in New Jersey is Metallica, Pantera, and I think Ice Nine Kills. And then another day is Five Finger Death Punch and some other bands. Right now, they have the purchase options to get tickets to both shows each weekend, each stop of the tour for 2 years. In January, single day tickets are going to go on sale. I definitely expect the Pantera day to sell out because Pantera. And then hopefully after that, Pantera will also do a headline tour or some other festivals in America. That's the goal. I imagine they'll do the Danny Wimmer festivals or something like that, at least one of them. But yeah, big news. I know people are sick of Metallica. Tedesco.com.media. Hello. Thanks for joining. And yeah, Metallica, everything. Also, if you're just not sick of Metallica yet, if you watch the Wednesday series on Netflix, I watched the first episode. It was really fun with Jenna Ortega. She plays cello because Wednesday Addams plays cello. It's based on the Addams Family character, Wednesday Addams. And Apocalyptica's cover of Nothing Else Matters can be heard in the show. So that's kind of fun. I know they had Stranger Things. They've been in some other shows this year. I think they were on Westworld in an episode, a Metallica song. And now this. I think they're also, if you saw the trailer to the Dungeons and Dragons movie coming out with Chris Pine in 2023, for some reason, Whole Lotta Love is in that trailer. I don't know if it's in the movie, but it's in the trailer at least. Kind of an odd choice, but okay. Speaking of Metallica and the high prices, and they have all these custom tiers and special levels. You can buy up to $7,000 tickets to be like on stage with the band. There's a snake pit stage. There's a ticket, the I Disappear ticket, where you give them $1,000 a year and you go to every Metallica show all over the world. One premium seat anywhere in the world. Seems like a good deal if you got that kind of money. But this goes into a thing with Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster and Live Nation are under investigation by the Department of Justice in America for just gouging. This new thing where it's not that new, but basically if tickets to an event start to sell out, the prices escalate exponentially. Also, there's the, Ticketmaster and Live Nation sort of, it used to be like, oh, we're trying to fight the bots, but really they are invested in reselling tickets, not necessarily bots, but scalpers or resellers, StubHub. Live Nation and Ticketmaster have a stake in this. They resell a certain amount of tickets for a higher price because they know they can get it. This happened with Bruce Springsteen, who's, an icon of the working person, but his tickets were also astronomical. Paul McCartney tickets, maybe not our audience, but if you were interested, Paul McCartney tickets were like $1,000 for the nosebleeds. I don't care for Taylor Swift. There's a lot of Swifties out there who are secret Swifties in the metal and rock community. This is the big story of the pop music world, that her tickets are just absolutely unaffordable and crazy. I don't care for her, but this affects rock and metal fans because in America, in North America, Live Nation and Ticketmaster own the venues. They own the ticketing platform. They own the billboards. They own the venues. It's crazy, all the major venues. And the whole other thing about they take merch cuts. There's a movement on right now to get the merch cuts removed. In case you didn't know, when you go to a Live Nation venue or a big venue, a lot of times they try to take a cut of the band's merch right off the top, and it's a big cut. And that's usually the only money an opening band makes from the tours, their merch. So this is very controversial. A lot of stuff you should care about if you like rock and metal. I know, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, and Taylor Swift are not metal, and Metallica you may not care about anymore, but these things trickle down to DIY bands. So be mindful. By the way, just for transparency, we used to take ad money from Live Nation. We did a huge multi-year ad campaign with Live Nation and a subsidiary of Live Nation to promote the Wardruda tour. So at least we were promoting a band we love and that you should love too, a beloved band in the underground music scene. Maybe I will link my last interview with Einar. What's up to new followers? Appreciate you. Michael Centrone is here. I need to answer your email, Michael Centrone, and set up an interview with you. But honestly, I'm very burned out on interviews right now. But I want to talk to after I read your next book. check out Michael Centrone's incredible writing. He's also a frontman of metal bands in the past. Check him out. Other news this week. Bandcamp Friday is this Friday. If you didn't spend all your money, on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Record Store Day, Black Friday, if you didn't spend all your money there, please support bands you love on Bandcamp Friday. At the very least, check out bands, share them with your friends who might be buying music. Follow them. You can click the follow button and get notified when they do something new. But if you can, when Bandcamp Friday happens, Bandcamp does not take their share of their money. They just pay the band all the money that comes in, minus a processing fee, I think, for PayPal or whatever payment system you use. Sorry, excuse me. Make sure I'm not snotty on camera. That would be embarrassing. Bandcamp Friday. Support your bands on Bandcamp. It's one of the coolest things out there. I know they're owned by Epic Games now, but still hopefully going to stay true to their mission. I would love that to happen. Cutting through some more of the news, Rammstein has dropped a brand new video from their recent album Zeit. Their new video for Adieu, the final track on the album, is out now. Hopefully not the final Rammstein album or the final Rammstein world tour the next couple of years, but they got a cool new video. They're putting each single of the album out as a custom vinyl with some other tracks and cool things. So check out the Rammstein merch store and check out Rammstein for that video for Adieu off of the album Zeit, out now on Universal Music, the same label as Megadeth. The Winery Dogs. If you like progressive rock and whittly drums, guitar, and bass and singing, the Winery Dogs, featuring Mike Portnoy, formerly Dream Theater, and 80 other bands, Richie Kotzen, formerly of Poison, and the great Billy Sheehan of Sons of Apollo and a million other bands, Mr. Big. They're coming back for their third album. It's already written and recorded. It's coming out, and they got a world tour. I didn't mention it with the tour dates, but I wanted to mention the album because that's the excitement. The album is coming. The singles are coming. Videos are coming. Stay tuned to the Winery Dogs. Album number 3, title 3, is coming soon in 2023. 3 is going to be a recurring theme for the rest of this show. You'll see. If you like Every Time I Die and you're sad they broke up, another big story of the last year, the rest of the band, not named Keith Buckley, has reformed. They are in the studio making a new album of some kind or new music of some kind. Don't know if they have a singer. Don't know who the singer will be, but they are posting stuff like crazy on their assorted social medias. Probably follow Jordan Buckley, my bad, if you like Every Time I Die. The Last Rockstars is a brand new rock supergroup from Japan with actually the biggest rock stars in Japan music history. That's not an exaggeration. Yoshiki, from his incredible solo career and the band X. Hyde, who's an incredible solo artist in his own right. Sugizo and Miyavi. If you follow J-pop and J-rock and Japanese metal, these are names you know. They have a new band called the Last Rockstars. They dropped a single, 2 singles, and a new video last week during the holiday in America when, we take a day off to, buy stuff we don't need, eat turkey, fight with our families. Hobo Wizard Band. You have the best name, Hobo Wizard. I've seen you before on our socials. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching our weekly rock and metal news show. If you're just tuning in, this is also a fundraiser. Check the link in the description. Check the link on YouTube. We'll see if anybody's here on YouTube checking in. Still kind of quiet, but all right. Had some people watching. This is going to wrap up soon. I appreciate you all. Couple more things to discuss. Chloe Trujillo, the wife of Rob Trujillo, and her musical partner, Mark Dalbath, a.k.a. Rav Medic, have a new EP out called Heavy Peace. And they just dropped a few new videos, including their brand new one today for the track Stone Cold Sober. Ghost Cold photographer Nikki Marie Kephart from LA shot some promo photos for them. I got to interview Chloe and talk to her all about her music and art career, as well as Robert Trujillo and Ty Trujillo and their daughter and their music they make together. The Ozfest is here. Whoa, I love the Ozfest. I wish you guys would come back in reality and not just virtual reality, but love you. Many of the best times of my life were happening at Ozfest in the 1990s. And the early aughts, and I love Ozfest dearly. So super cool to see the Ozfest social media team checking in here. Please bring back the Ozfest someday, somebody. Bring back Ozfest, bring back Mayhem Fest. We need more traveling metal festivals. I know touring's a mess right now. So interview Chloe Trujillo, check that out. She was really cool. We talked about art. I'm a huge art nerd, and besides being a music nerd. Tool is releasing a collectible for 10,000 days, some kind of collectible release. Could be a vinyl. We're not sure yet. They've been teasing it on their Instagram. Check it out. If you like Tool, if you hate Tool, ignore this message. Powerwolf is coming out with a new album, kind of a mix of new music and some live stuff called Interludium. Great name. Kind of sounds Latin, but Powerwolf, if you like that band, they're coming out with new stuff. Host is a brand new band that is a industrial metal side project from Nick and Gregor from Paradise Lost, so you know it's good. They have a bunch of new singles out. They got a release coming soon. Super cool project from those folks. Where so much cool new music has already been announced for 2023. Obituary new album coming in January. Catatonia new album coming in January. Much new stuff to get stoked on. We reviewed 600 albums here at Ghost Cult just this year alone. And our album of the year countdown that I mentioned earlier that is out now, we counted it all the way down from 75 to 1. Our staff voted on 276 albums, and we picked the best 75 to share. So check that out in the links, in our link tree in the descriptions. And then just kind of unfortunately, game of Wack-A-Mole. As we mentioned, the touring industry is really hard right now. The gig industry is very hard right now. We saw a tweet. If you're interested in some dance music, that's dance music for metalheads. Kanga is an artist on Artifact Records we really like, and she asked on Twitter, it costs about $20,000 to do a legitimate 8-week to 10-week headline tour in America right now. And she was kind of crowdsourcing information from her fans, which I thought was super cool. She was trying to talk about, how can we do this? Can we collaborate? How do we do this in a way that I don't go broke and die trying to do this tour? She's incredible. If you like, Carpenter Brute, and you like Das Mortal, and you like artists like this, you want to check out Kanga. Kylan Mikla's on that label. Cloud Rat is on that label. Ken Mode, I think, is on that label. So many cool bands. Check it out. So in a game of Wack-A-Mole, lose a venue, gain a venue. Here I'm in the Bay Area, and Oakland has a killer death metal and black metal scene, among other things. And obviously the Bay Area is known for thrash, and there's tons of thrash and heavy metal bands here. Old, new, whatever. The Elbow Room, they used to have 2 venues, one here in San Francisco and one across the Bay in Oakland. They're not going out of business, but they're in danger because one of their co-owners moved to Germany, and they're not going to continue the business. Maybe someone will buy it and continue the Elbow Room. It has been an iconic, and I don't throw that word around a lot, but in this area, it has been an iconic modern venue for all kinds of cool rock and metal shows. I saw Author and Punisher there earlier in the year. It was incredible. And I would hate to see it go. So we'll find out soon what's going to happen with that venue. In a venue coming back to life, in a place where one was lost, in New York City, we used to have the Knitting Factory in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Very expensive to have a club in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Ask the guys who own St. Vitus. Our homies were just at St. Vitus this week for Machine Head, by the way. But Knitting Factory closed down. Rent too damn high. Very cool place. A lot of cool shows happen there. And they said, we're going to reopen somewhere else in New York City, but we don't know where. Probably not Brooklyn. They took over the former Pyramid Club space in the Lower East Side. Pyramid, a legendary club that used to have death metal and industrial metal. It was a dance club. It was an art space. We had many a good time there. We had a fun thing about 3 years ago with Allegion, where we went and just dance partied with them to goth music. We vogued with Allegion. And we have video evidence, so, send us your nudes, Allegion, or we're going to post this video of you guys dancing sillily. Sillily is not a word, but silly-ish. Last Crate on the left, what's up? Thanks for being here and watching our Rock and Metal News Show. So the Pyramid Club, the former Pyramid Club, went out of business during the pandemic. New Knitting Factory space is going to be in that place. So that's really exciting if you go to shows in New York City. It's tiny, like 215 people, but I'm interested to see what they do with it. They have a downstairs stage, an upstairs stage, an art space. They may have a restaurant attached to it. I hope it succeeds. And we're almost at the end of the show. Thanks for watching so far. Appreciate everybody that's here. Again, check the links in the description. Help us with our fundraiser. It is a nightmare trying to replace this expensive camera gear we had broken. It sucks, but we're soldiering on. I'm wearing my festive Christmas hat. You can also check out our Christmas and holiday gift guide for metalheads and rockers. I'll link it here in the video. I'll link it in the description. A bunch of curated content if you got a metalhead in your life, if you want to buy yourself a cool gift, we've got you covered. Every possible thing you could think of for Rockers and Metalheads. And it was originally put out for Black Friday, but this thing is good all through the season and really all year round. Support these small brands, not just the big brands. We also support some cool brands and some charities. Giving Tuesday was this week, and we try to use our socials to highlight some of these charities, which is important to us. It's time for the mailbag, and then we're out of here. I have a cool thing I got in the mail. This box, I'm going to see how well it opens and shows up on Instagram, but it'll look better on YouTube. This came from Kings Roads Merch, which is a merch fulfillment company. But what this is I did on not the last Bandcamp Friday, but a few Bandcamp Fridays ago, one of my more favorite labels to support and check out new music from is 31G. 31G is run by Justin Pearson from The Locust and Dead Cross and a bunch of other killer bands. Super cool dude, incredible musician and artist. And he only puts out stuff he believes in, his own music, but also others. So this is a really cool, it was a Bandcamp Friday super sale. I got a bunch of stuff, just mystery stuff. Some of it was like $1, some of it was $10. And I'm going to unbox it right now. So this is beautifully packed. If you're worried about having vinyl shipped to you and how it's going to turn out, we got you covered. We got you covered. All right. What's all this? Okay. Oh, another band Justin is in is Def Club. Look at this Kiss-inspired album cover. Hey, Luna13, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. This is the end of our rock and metal news show. We're just unboxing some vinyl that was sent to me. So here is Bad Songs Forever, the EP. Here's an old school Cattle Decapitation vinyl repress. Omnivore, amazing. Shout out and rest in peace to Gabe Serbian of a bunch of bands, including former artist in Cattle Decapitation. Very sad. I think this was $1. Get Hustle, cool album. $1. We'll check it out. I love to learn about new music. You can't beat a vinyl for $1 of any stripe. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I got 2 of these. I might give one of these away. Satanic Planet is a supergroup, sort of a avant-garde industrial metal supergroup. It's got Dave Lombardo in it. It's got Lucien Graves in it. You should know who that guy is. Church of Satan, Lucien Graves. And, Satanic Temple, excuse me. And this album, Justin is in this band also, I believe. We got 2 of these. I don't know how much what this costs because I haven't looked at the list yet. But I'll give one of these away. I'll give this album away featuring Dave Lombardo. Drop the best comment in Instagram or YouTube gets this vinyl shipped to them. I don't care where you are in the world. I will send it out with some other fun free stuff. Why not? We're celebrating 10 years. We're giving away a lot of stuff. If you watched our holiday gift guide, we showed a lot of those gifts in the gift guide, and I offered to give away something from that gift guide. If you subscribe to the channel, you need to be a subscriber. If you subscribe to the channel here on Instagram, but especially YouTube, and you drop a fun, awesome comment, the best comment, I will send you a gift from that gift guide. But if you drop a comment and subscribe from this video, I will send you this vinyl. This one, brand new. Let's see. I have the bill of lading here. Let's see what's in it. Let's see if it's a custom vinyl or not. Satanic Planet. The album is Invocation, and the vinyl, I can't tell if it's special or not. Yeah, I didn't pay much for it, so I'm going to give it away for free. And you should support 31G, the word 3, 1, O-N-E, G, as in a lowercase g. 31G. Shout out to Justin Pearson. We're always down to work with you, bro, and support you. Love the new Dead Cross album, by the way. Dead Cross featuring also Dave Lombardo, also Mike Patton. Incredible band, incredible album. Dead Cross 2 out now from Ipecac Recordings, but 31G is a label we are supporting in this unboxing video. What's up, David H? What's up, Official Marlin? What's up, Keith G? I'm also Keith V, Keith C. This has been the Weekly Ritual Rock and Metal News Show. If you made it this far, you're a real one. If you just showed up now, you're a real one. Again, you could win some free stuff from us. in a giveaway. If you just drop an interesting comment, make sure you're subscribed to us on Instagram at Ghost Cult Mag. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube. We're almost at 3,000 subs on YouTube, and I'm definitely going to give away a box of stuff when we hit 3,000 to somebody. Somebody's going to win some stuff. I got people send labels and bands send me stuff all the time. I'm amassing a box of stuff to give away for our anniversary and just in general, because we like to reward fans for watching us. I got pins, I got patches, I got vinyls, I got cassettes, I got toys, I got Funkos, I got Super 7 toys, I got pins, I got all kinds of metal stuff, metal and rock stuff. Tommy Kelman, what's up, dude? Tony, sorry, what's up? Good to see you. And yeah, we're coming to the end of our show, but thanks for watching. You can rewatch on the rebroadcast. I'm going to save this on Insta so you can watch it. This is, of course, going to live on our YouTube, and we'll share it everywhere. Thanks for being here. I am Keefe from Ghost Cult Mag. Always willing to chop it up with you guys and talk about anything in rock and metal. We'll be back next week, probably on Friday. I did this today on Thursday. I got some travel tonight out of town. I'm pet sitting for a friend, and I'm not going to be home to do this. But, you know, give us a super thanks or a super chat, whatever it's called now, on YouTube, and we will gladly talk to you about anything you want, any topic in rock and metal. I'm always here for a Q&A. Piercing Metal is here. What's up, Ken Pierce of Piercing Metal NYC? Go support him and his channel. He is awesome. He does some similar stuff we do. He covers shows in the New York area. A lot of geek content. It's, I think, super cool stuff. What's the tagline, Ken? Help me out with that. Thanks. I will travel safe. I'm not going too far, but yeah, thank you. And yeah, that's what we do. Thanks for being here. Again, this was a fundraiser. We're still trying to raise funds to replace our broken gear that got smashed in an accident at a music festival. Super sucked hard. We did get some money back. The person was sorry, but not nearly enough money to replace the gear that was broken. So here we are. I know it's a tough time out there for everybody to be asking for money. I have many friends dealing with personal crises much worse than this, but we are a small business. We do it. We make as many posts as Blabbermouth, Metal Sucks, Metal Injection, Lamb Goat. We like all those sites. Loudwire, not as much, but we do as much work as they do with none of the corporate backing. So just keep that in mind. And Lamb Goat is DIY. They're not corporate. Wherever you go watch your news stuff from, we're very similar. Plus, we interview bands. That's right. We're heavy music and pop culture collide is the tag. Thanks, Ken. I'm sorry. I haven't had coffee today. Maybe a one sip of coffee. Here's my mug. And I didn't barely take a drink out of it the whole show, just the seltzer. So sorry, Ken. Love Piercing Metal NYC. Support and follow them. That's our colleague and friend. And they do awesome stuff just like we do. So it's a jungle out there. And sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under. I think a rap song once said, this has been the Weekly Ritual. Again, if you made it this far, thanks for being a real one. Thanks for donating and supporting us. I really appreciate it. I'm Keefe. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it is a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And stay as metal as possible and enjoy the holiday season if you can. Peace.